Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So what I want to talk today about is cars that I think are going to go up in value and kind of sort of why and the reasoning behind why I was thinking this. So the reason I kind of thought about this topic is a couple weeks ago there was a Honda Civic Si that was on Bring a Trailer that sold for 50 grand. And that was just like, wow, that is insane. I mean, but it makes sense. That was like one of the kind of like the dream cars of that era. So I'll have more on that one though in a little bit. So to kind of just sort of explain what it is and how I came to these conclusions on this is that a lot of these cars might already be starting to kind of creep up a little bit, and I'll kind of mention that as I go through. And I'm sure there's tons, and I'm not going to include a lot of like Ferrari, like special Ferraris and Porsches because those are kind of obvious, or the Ford GT because those ones they had a huge spike a couple of years ago already. That's still one of my biggest regrets is not picking one up in like 2009 when they're like 120 grand. Now you can't touch one for like under like 300. Anyways, so to kick this off, first one I'm going to talk about is the MK4 Toyota Supra. So this one, it kills me. Another reason I wanted to make this video is just right before this, a friend sent me a auction link for one of my old Supras, my red Supra. It was automatic, and it was a salvage rebuilt title. And I sold that car for $16,500 or $17,500 back in the day, so that must have been like 2004 maybe. And I just saw that it sold for $37,000. The MK4 market, I think, is going to continue to trend up, especially if you can find a low mileage 6-speed. That is kind of the holy grail. I don't know if you're always going to be seeing these $100,000 range ones, but it's definitely those are good cars to hold on to and pick up one if you have the option. Second car is, I guess we should have spoke about it already, the Honda Civic Si, the EDM1. Is that right? EDM1? Something like that. Anyways, that one was the the Electron Blue with the B16A2. Holds a special place in my heart. I actually almost ended up with one of those before I got my first Supra because at the time you could buy those things brand new for like, I think like it was like low 20s. My parents didn't understand why I wanted to spend so much money on a car that was, salvage rebuilt and had, I think it had like 100,000 miles on it at the time, and yeah, they just couldn't understand, like, why would you want a 94? We can get you a 2000. But yeah, so it's a great car. I still look at them. I think the chances of me finding a nice low mileage one though for like under 10 probably not gonna happen at this point. I still think they're gonna trend up. I don't think they're gonna quite get the money like 50 grand anymore, but they're gonna keep, they're gonna hold value. Third car, kind of keeping the same vein, is the Integra Type R. So this one I was a really big fan of the Phoenix Yellow. I don't know really why, and the Championship White, I think is what it was called. They're already starting to trend up a little bit. Like, it's hard to find one these days for under 20 grand. It's a clean one. I don't know how much more they're going to go up, but again, you have the manual transmission. It holds a special place in a lot of people's hearts. It's definitely one that's going to be going up and worth holding on to. Fourth one. This is, I was not sure if I wanted to include this one, but I thought it was worth mentioning because it does start brand new under 100,000, is the Dodge Demon. I know it's like right under 100,000, but I was like, alright. The reason for that is it's a crazy car, not really my taste, but they only made like 3,300 of them, so if you can find one that's low mileage and hold on to it, it's going to be worth some money. That one I know will be worth some money. You can take you can take that one to the bank, as they say. Alright, fifth car, kind of going back to the Japanese cars, is the newer Honda Civic Type R. Again, if you can get like a low mileage one and hold on to it, I think it'll be worth a lot of money. I was talking to a friend about this before I did this video. He kind of helped me, sort of formulate my thoughts and get some lists of cars that were like, normal cars and not like Ferraris. And he thinks, and I don't know if I agree with him on this one, he thinks that the new Civic Type R in like 10 years, you're going to be able to sell that thing for 70 to 80 grand. I'm like, I don't know about that, but I do agree that it's a decent car for what it is, and it's going to be worth money, going forward. So the sixth, and I guess it's a 6 and 7, gonna kind of lump these together, is the E46 M3 and the E92 M3. The caveat is that it needs to be a 6-speed and low mileage. I mean, obviously all of these, I think, besides maybe the Supra, need to be low mileage for it to be worth a decent amount of money. But with these ones, since manuals and transmissions are getting kind of phased out, and the E46 being kind of held as like the standard, as like the last great sort of like true BMW, that one's gonna definitely, it's already sort of trying to go up, and like the prices for the E92 and the E46 are actually kind of coming like this. But I do think the E92 is also gonna start trending up with the 6-speed, especially in the next like 5 or so years. If you can find like a clean one with low mileage, it's gonna be hard to get one for under 30 or 40 grand in a few years. So there you go, guys. That's my list. I'm sure there's a ton of other ones. I'd actually be interested in hearing some of your thoughts. For once, hearing your thoughts on kind of other cars, because I'm always out looking and thinking of new ways of cars to hold on to and things to buy. So if you guys can think of any that I left off, the criteria being it has to be brand new, under 100,000. Let me know. All right, I appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time.